Do you know what happened on this day, Crowder? On this day in Miami sports history, in Miami Dolphins history, happened in 2018.
It's not me interception. That's the 9th. I figured that out last week.
Right, and that
The
wasn't
great
in 2018.
comeback. The great comeback.
The Miami Miracle?
Yeah.
Yes, the Miami Miracle happened on this day in 2018. If I remember correctly, it was Kenny Stills to Devontae Parker to Kenyon Drake, right?
Kenyon Drake, yeah. And Gronk was at safety.
Right. That's actually an argument against Bill Belichick getting a head coaching job in college or pro. That really was mangled by him. He got all cutesy, thinking that Gronkowski somehow was going to knock down a Ryan Tannehill 80-yard end zone pass. Like, when you think about it, that was a huge coaching blunder. Cost the Patriots a victory. And it is funny that Gronk was wildly out of position, had a terrible angle on Kenyon Drake to try and bring him down.
I want Gronk to have an open field tackle to win the game. Yeah, Bill. We know the Super Bowl rings are there, brother, but that was some dumb stuff.
I don't think you're getting the UNC job if they look at that video and it's going viral today. That has to be on the Mount Rushmore. It's not, though. Like, it's confirmed. Like, he's legit trying to get that UNC job.
He's going to be a terrible college coach. He has to now talk to 18-year-olds and recruit 15-year-olds when they're sophomores. He's not going to want to do all of that, man.
Hawk, did I read correctly, though, that this sounds like he's setting his son up for a job in the future?
Yes. One of the things I read over the weekend was that his son, is it Steve? Is that his name? Steve, I think, Belichick?
I don't know.
And if it's not, I'm sure it's close.
Okay.
Hey, your name's Bill. You know, you're not naming your son Apple. Okay.
Montre.
But yeah, one of the things I read over the weekend was that if he takes the head coaching job, when he retires, the head coaching job has to go to Apple Belichick or whatever the kid's name is.
That makes sense.
It's 305. Dale.
Plus,
Dale.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You're welcome. Hoch, Crowder, I think it's officially time Solana issues an apology to Tua.
You know what? I'm with that, Jimmy. Jimmy, by the way, is wearing a Miami Miracle t-shirt. It's got the play outline right there on the shirt. That's a good shirt, Jimmy. I think he's right. I think you do owe an apology to Tua. Because I remember, didn't I have to apologize to someone about Paul Maurice? Like, I got it wrong. And when it became very clear that I got it wrong, I said, I need to do a public mea culpa. Like, I was wrong about this. You're wrong about Tua. He's an incredible quarterback.
What am I wrong about? What am I apologizing for?
For hating on a guy that has numbers like Joe Montana.
You literally wanted to start Skylar Thompson ahead of him.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, I know about that. I know about that. And if it was me who said it, there'd be a montage like Tate Martell. But now you just have to take my word for it. But I absolutely know about that. You wanted to start Skylar Thompson.
Did you see the text yesterday when I just texted you hate Tua?
Yeah,
it was because I was listening to Game Day Uncensored, and he was right after it again with the Tua hate. And I was like, you hate Tua. You have to. You never know what this guy's gonna do. He goes out there. He's throwing Joe Montana numbers on you, and you still hate on him.
You guys are really, because of one stat, gonna start putting Tua and Joe Montana in the same conversation. Really, because of one stat. Because I could do the same with pretty much anybody. Tyler Hero, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan were all in a conversation on FanDuel Sports the other day. Should I start doing that as well? Is that what you want me to do? Because I think both of you deserve Tyler Hero an apology, and I'm not here asking you for it. All I ever said was Tua hasn't won a playoff game, and until he does, I'm not going to sit here and act like he's better than Dan Marino. I'm not apologizing for that.
That's not what you say. That's not what you say.
You say
on from him at every turn you got to move on from Tua. Tua's not the guy. He's shown you that he can't win the big game. And I think it's folly at this point. I mean, you're on an island on this, and get ahead of it and apologize. You're going to have to apologize at some point. Get ahead of it.
I refuse to apologize for something I don't think I'm wrong about yet. Has he proven to you that he can win the big game? We're doing this again after beating teams that aren't in the playoffs again. We're doing this.
He has proven to me, if he was the quarterback on Kansas City or Buffalo or any other really good team, he wins a Super Bowl. Period. End of story. That's how good he is.
If he's on the field.
You cape up for Bryce Young, who's been benched multiple times, and you badmouth Tua. It's weird.
I'm not bad-mouthing Tua, but you guys are talking about him like he's Joe Montana, who has multiple Super Bowls. Hawk called him the greatest quarterback in Dolphins history 2 weeks ago.
Stop that. I said, will we one day have a conversation? And listen, I don't doubt that we'll one day have a conversation that Jonnu Smith was the greatest tight end that played for the Miami Dolphins in history.
That I can.
Anyone want to argue that?
That I can get behind.
I don't even have argument points for that one. What, Randy McMichael?
That's it, pretty much, right?
That's all I got.
Anthony Fasano.
Anthony Fasano, right? Special place in my heart for Fasano. I love Tua. I really do. I think he's the most valuable player on this team. That can't be argued. But they're still not capable of beating a playoff team. We're doing the same thing. 2 weeks ago,
that's not on him. He does his part. It's not on him.
But he's still the quarterback. There's still some sort of responsibility.
Okay,
for the
so Jimmy Butler's incapable
team.
of winning a championship.
As of right now, I think I don't.
Wait. Why is there a disclaimer to him? Like you said it flat out with Tua. You said Tua's incapable of beating a playoff team. I said Jimmy Butler's incapable of winning an NBA title.
Hold on a second. As of right now, that's a fair argument for you to make. I could disagree the same way you disagree about Tua, but it's a fair argument.
You can disagree?
Of course I can.
But you can agree with the Tua take?
My take on Tua, you can disagree with it, as you do. You disagree with it. My take on Tua is that until he proves to you that he can go win you a playoff game, you have to doubt it because he hasn't. Over multiple years, he hasn't been able to do it yet. And as great as he looks against the Jets and against the Raiders, we saw what he looked like in Green Bay in that first half. Even though he played well in the second half, he couldn't win you a game against a playoff team until he does. And until the Dolphins are a perennial playoff contender winning perennial playoff games, we're going to talk about this guy like he's Joe Montana? What? Am I high right now? What are we doing?
He's a good quarterback. You come around on Josh Allen.
He's a great quarterback. I'm not saying he's not. He's a great quarterback. You want me to say I was wrong because I said Tua can't be a great quarterback? Fine. I don't hate Tua. I just don't think he's going to win the Dolphins a Super Bowl. But I'm not apologizing for that. I was wrong if I ever said he wasn't a great quarterback.
Do you think Jimmy Butler will win the Heat an NBA title?
I think Jimmy Butler can be on the team when Miami wins an NBA title.
Well, I can be on the team. I mean, if they put me on the team, that's not what I'm asking you.
As a 3.
Right now, Tyler Hero looks like he's leading the Heat to an NBA.
Again,
title.
not what I'm asking you.
So you came around on Jared Goff because of his playoff success. Jared Goff is better than Tua at football?
But come around on Jared Goff on what? The team was built.
You hated Jared Goff, and I kept saying Jared Goff is really good, and you were like, you know what, Jared Goff is good. You come around on anybody. You praise Bryce Young. Why do you just dislike Tua? Why does Tua always have to be in the crosshairs of your hate?
You guys have let a bit spiral out of control here. I mean, this is unbelievable. I don't hate Tua. He's a great quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback right now. As we sit here and talk, he's a top 10 quarterback. Still doesn't win a playoff game. So what do you do with that?
What do you do with Jimmy Butler not having won a title?
What does that have to do with anything?
It's pretty similar. It's analogous. You're looking beyond that parameter.
Hawk, yes. You're talking about Jimmy Butler, who has led the Miami Heat in some of the best individual playoff performances in franchise history of a franchise with a pretty decent postseason resume, to a guy who has never won a playoff game.
Talking about winning a title.
Game.
Why are you moving the goalposts for Jimmy? But why are you moving the goalposts for Jimmy?
You're moving the goalposts for Tua.
I'm not. I'm
was
saying if you can factually state Tua can't win a playoff game, then I can factually state Jimmy Butler can't win an NBA title.
I have never factually stated that Tua cannot
just said it
and will not. I'm saying that it's fair for me to doubt him because he has not done it.
So then you have to doubt Jimmy Butler's ability to win an NBA title.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so say it.
Why? Man, it is crazy. For 3 weeks, Tobin on Game Day Uncensored is just miserable. He's like, "What's the point? The season's over." And I'm trying. I'm like, bro, at least you could see Tua plays well. And now people are like, "Oh, you're so negative on Game Day Uncensored." When I was the guy trying to be positive because of you two. You two are just spreading misinformation about me hating our starting quarterback.
Mike Cunio, who is as even-keeled as anyone you'll ever meet, just texted me, "What did Tua do to Solana?"
Oh, come on, man.
No.
And so, like, it's noticeable to other people in the media. Like, it's noticeable. There's something's at play there.
Okay.
Let's get headlines from the world's biggest Tua hater. Let's see how he'll spin these headlines into a negative Tua comment.
Did you get beat up in Hawaii or something?
Brought to you by Durrell Volkswagen. At Durrell Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock like the Tiguan, Taos, and Atlas. And remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Durrell Volkswagen.
Listen, man, I traveled with the teams a couple years Tua. I would have appreciated one invite to the luau with Tua at this point. Okay? Just one.
He got jumped by some Polynesians as a kid. He hates Paul Soliai.
He had bad poi one day at a Hawaii theme party. He had a bad handful of poi.
This damn Palomalu.
Reagan Mawia, you bust.
Samson Satelli, he hates them all.
Great victory by Jason Sanders, by the way, for the Miami Dolphins.
No one saw him being the hero, right? After the missed extra point to start the game.
What about
Malik Washington, by the way? How about Malik Washington after last week? I mean, this victory doesn't happen without him.
Oh, 100%. Wow. That's good. And to go back to him, a young guy, to go back to him, that showed confidence in him, and that put something under him.
I would never have let him return a kick or a punt in the rest. If I was head coach in the rest of my head coaching career, Malik Washington never would have been back there.
You can't do that, man. He's a young dude too. You would have took every confidence out of him.
He did it to Mostert. Sat his ass on the bench.
They hate him. I don't know, Solana. Did you get in McDaniel's ear about Mostert?
It's a weird situation because apparently he's dealing with an injury, which is why he was inactive. But Omar hinted at the injury not being the reason why he's out, kind of insinuating that there's some sort of rift there that continues to be a rift. So I don't really know. We'll find out next week. But I'll tell you what, the Dolphins have rushed for a combined 83 yards in their last two games. That is bad.
I don't break news, but I've heard the same about the Mostert situation.
Tweet that out, Jimmy.
Brendan Tobin, your partner, has texted me.
Uh-oh.
And he says, I'm negative. Solana spent 45 minutes ripping poor Ethan Bonner for never playing. Solana is a bully.
He hated the entire ride to the stadium. He roasted Ethan Bonner for no reason. I'm like, is Ethan Bonner?
Bro, I wasn't roasting Ethan Bonner. I'm roasting the people who have spent 2 off seasons telling me about how much of a darling Ethan Bonner is and the strides he's making.
You spent 3 off seasons telling us about Skylar Thompson. You're going to criticize the people who are in love with Ethan Bonner?
I was wrong about Skylar Thompson. That is a good point.
I'll tell you one thing. Ethan's not affecting a game as much as Skylar does.
Yeah, but look at our secondary, man. And I had this two off seasons about Ethan Bonner. Jalen Waddle's telling us about how Ethan Bonner has made the most strides in training camp. Guy can't get on the field, and our secondary is awful. Aaron Rodgers has been the worst quarterback all season, and he torched the Dolphins yesterday. Torched them.
I was listening, and since Tobin's listening, he said a great thing. Jason Sehorn. When you have to go back to Jason Sehorn to find a successful white corner, that's a long time. Jason Sehorn's older than me. Whoever said this white corner is going to be very successful, Solana? No one ever said that.
All right.
Sounds to me like Tobin does not like being partnered with Solana.
Oh, he hates me so much, man.
It also sounds like Cunio does not like Solana coming on sports, face off.
I think that's
whatever it's called on CBS 4.
What is it, extra?
You guys want some Tua Tagovailoa love? I'll give it to you.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to Jonnu Smith. Nah, I'm joking. No joke. 331 yards, 2 touchdowns. In the past in the past month, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions. And I got this emailed to me by the NFL. He completed 29 of 40 passes, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions in week 12, 37 of 46, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions in week 13. First player in NFL history with at least 40 pass attempts, multiple touchdown passes, and no interceptions in 3 consecutive games within a single season. He's balling right now.
I said it earlier.
He
should, and I think will be a Pro Bowler.
Oh, that's without question.
Yeah. MVP might be a little too far, Hawk, but Pro Bowler, guaranteed.
I just had a vote here and there, because this team is a playoff caliber team with him, and they are maybe the worst team in the league without him.
I would love to see the Bills with Mitchell Trubisky at the helm.
You've seen Mitchell Trubisky as a multiple-year starter in the NFL. He ain't gonna look like Skylar Thompson.
He was terrible, Hawk.
He wasn't. He was not an embarrassment.
He wasn't Tim Boyd. I'm with you. He wasn't Huntley, but yeah, that's. And on the other side too, Josh Allen is playing out of his damn mind. So once you see the two sides, it's crazy.
Nah, he deserves an MVP vote for sure. At least one. Probably just one, but at least one.
Over under a half. I'm going under.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to get. Do you get to vote like how many? Like, you get to vote for 5? Do you get to vote just one player? Like, I don't know how NFL MVP voting works.
I don't know, Hawk. I'm going to give you a little, revelation about my career.
Weren't in it.
Nobody asked me to vote on anything. Yeah, nobody asked me for my opinion other than Ryan Clark.
Let me look at the NFL superlatives here.
Y'all don't even like my opinion. Hell.
Player awards. Regular season MVP, Josh Allen is a huge favorite at -450. Saquon Barkley, +500. Lamar Jackson, +1200. Jared Goff, +1600. Patrick Mahomes, Sam Darnold, +3000. Yeah, Tua's not even on here.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers, all at +25,000.
I want Saquon to win it.
Aaron Rodgers is listed and Tua's not?
Because people will just throw money on Aaron Rodgers. Like, that's Hard Rock taking some money from some unsuspecting dolt.
Yeah. We do the same thing.
Offensive player of the year.
Saquon,
yeah, minus 650.
It's the craziest thing in the world that they're different because all those people you named play offense.
And he's out, like Josh Allen is third. Josh Allen's third for offensive player of the year at plus 1,100.
It's the craziest thing. It's like Travis Hunter. He's not on the Doak Campbell list, but he's number one for Heisman. So he's the best player in football, but he's not the best at his position. These are some silly little award voters.
I might take the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl at plus 15,000 because it seems to me like it's coming together.
I'm out.
They beat Houston on Sunday on the road. They beat Houston on Sunday?
So they're 3-point dogs, by the way. Line, I think, opened at 2. They're 3-point dogs right now. In my opinion, no, because Tua can't win a big game on the road.
They're healthy too. Houston's healthy. Tank's there. Nico's there. All those guys are healthy. I don't think they can hold up. I think to your point about Ethan Bonner, I think the secondary can't handle.
I just think it's the same old. This is we said this was going to happen, that we would believe in the team because they'd rack up a couple wins in a row, then they'd lose to Green Bay, then they'd beat the Jets. Like this is the ping pong effect that we've gone through the last few seasons. It's fun to argue the other side, but that is what we've gone through.
All right. Clemson beat SMU in the ACC title game, by the way, so it didn't matter for the Canes. Silver lining, Alabama, go enjoy the Fenway Bowl or whatever the hell it's called, Pinstripe Bowl, because you're not getting into the dance either. They're upset, by the way, all these Crimson Tide fans, very upset.
I mean, it's like you said earlier, they actually thought that they were in, and Miami would have thought that as well if it came down to Miami was ranked ahead of Alabama, because you're assuming SMU is going to beat Clemson. And so they had that week where, yeah, we did it when we overcame a 3-loss season, and now they've had the rug pulled out from under them. So, yeah, it probably stinks more.
They just lost a lot of money, though, because Alabama was about to buy them tickets. SMU doesn't have a fan base like that.
They, I mean, like, even, and I don't know if the ad rates change or whatever, but ratings wise, like, I'll watch an Alabama game in prime time. I'm going to be hard pressed to watch an SMU game.
SMU was born as hell against Clemson, to be honest. I watched that damn game.
They were down big early, too. Like, big early in that game.
Yeah, it's just star power's not there. I don't know any of those guys.
Half the roster is the guys that left Miami. So,
yeah.
Old Rhett's over there. Rhett's be over there getting after him on the sideline. I like old Lashley.
Yeah. The transfer portal did open, speaking of that, opened today in college football officially. And Cam Ward hinted that he'll play in the Pop-Tarts Bowl December 28th. Canes will play Iowa State. Iowa State lost to Arizona State in the Big 12 championship game. That was cool, by the way. Arizona State was picked by the media last in the Big 12. They were picked to finish last in the Big 12, and they ended up winning that conference.
Who's Iowa State's coach? Is that still Kirk Ferentz?
Got me.
I think I remember that from Big Ten Media Days when we used to do Big Ten Media Days.
I know Scatterboo, whatever his name is, that white running back be getting after it on Arizona State.
Matt Campbell is their head coach.
Scatterboo.
Was Kirk Ferentz ever their head coach?
He's been the coach of Iowa State since 2016.
Ooh, this Matt guy?
Yeah, this Matt Campbell.
Hawk, I think you're thinking about Iowa.
Ferentz somewhere.
Oh, Kirk Ferentz was Iowa?
Yes.
We interviewed Ferentz.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to have him on for Big Ten Media Day. No wonder he didn't like us. I thought he was coaching Iowa State.
Asking him. You asked him about cheese curds.
No, that was Paul Christ from Wisconsin.
The Miami Heat are streaking. They beat the Cavs last night. They outplayed the Cavs for 4 quarters. And they also beat the Suns on Saturday. No Kevin Durant, but still an impressive victory. 3rd straight win, 2 games above 500. Tyler Hero outplayed Garland and Donovan Mitchell yesterday. He outplayed Bradley Beal and Devin Booker on Saturday. I'm not joking. Tyler Hero right now is putting up Steph Curry numbers and efficiency. It's crazy.
Oh, he's on 19 in the 3rd, right? Last game, he went nuts. That was on ESPN.
21 in the 3rd against the Lakers. 19 in the 3rd yesterday. It's stupid what he's been doing.
Oh, well, the numbers and the stats matter a lot when it's a white guy for the Heat. Polynesian for the Dolphins, nope, stats don't matter.
Oh, 74%. Anybody can do that.
Love what Matthew Tkachuk has been doing too, man. Guy's on a heater. 15 points over the last 6 games. Crazy stretch. Panthers have gone 5-0-1 during that stretch. And congrats to Paul Maurice, all-time winningest coach in franchise history.
And man, did you hate Anthony Duclair.
Love some River Craycraft. I said, what? Tyreek and Waddle, man. They need to throw the ball to River more. I just.
You say Randy McMichael, he says Anthony Fasano. There's a pattern.
Wow. Solana, you showing your hand.
Weather from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm. Call them 866-954-MORE. YourAccidentAttorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. It's another gorgeous afternoon in South Florida. Tonight, the lows, they'll be in the low 60s. That is your weather right here on the Hawk Show.
I was going to say something earlier. I said, yeah, I'll let Will sneak on off.